I'm forever just sitting in my chair dancing to this music, I swear. G'day everyone, TNick back here with some more transport fever. Today we are going to press on with our American campaign.
The land of opportunity.
Yeah.
Industry is booming around the Great Lakes. Food for the entire nation is produced in the areas surrounding Chicago, and the automobile industry is growing in Detroit. The automobile is opening up new possibilities for transportation. Trucks can deliver large quantities of goods to the most remote corners. The automobile is still the exclusive pleasure of the affluent, but it could soon become a mass-produced commodity and revolutionize the entire transport industry.
Well, gee, that sounds exciting.
It is the year 1909, and there's not much to complain about here in the Midwest. There's a spirit of optimism. Completely new production methods are opening up new possibilities and business opportunities. A stake in the automobile industry. Now that would be an interesting investment. Our friend William Durant is planning something big, and we could get on board. We still lack the necessary capital, but in just a couple of years, we will also be profiting from the auto business.
Yeah, because, you know, lots of transport companies want to send themselves bankrupt by investing in their main competition, like, you know, the private car. 5 medals can be earned in this mission. Let's have a look. Speed record, ensure the first motor races can take place before 1925. Gives us 15 years to accomplish that one. Furtive, see to it that you don't get caught by the police. Righto. Rich in success, only those who have had at least 25 million in their own pockets once in their life are taken seriously in the automobile industry. Well, sounds like a challenge. Stroke of luck, it would be more hygienic for all involved if the pigs were slaughtered in a conventional manner. Yeah, I'm not going to ask too many questions there. And large crowds, make sure that at least 25 people are waiting at one stop at once to make a pilgrimage to the motor races. If 25 people is a large crowd, then got some serious questions. Right, let's have a go at this.
The automobile business is the market of the future. We should invest in it. But first, we're going to need a tidy sum of seed capital. This is easiest earned satisfying the most mundane of human needs, food and drink. The people are hungry for meat, and the transport of animals for slaughter is lucrative, so long as this bloody business doesn't give you the heebie-jeebies. Nowhere on earth is more meat prepared than in the Union stockyards of Chicago. The pigs enter at the front, and the cans exit at the back. A model example of rationality.
Sounds fair enough to me. Well, I've located the 2 farms and the food food processing plant. Ha! Nailed it. So they lie sort of between Chicago and Indianapolis there, so I'm thinking we can run a train around here, dropping food off here, food off in Chicago. Actually, we can probably just truck that in, but picking livestock up at either way. And as we all know from playing this game, an empty train makes no profits, so if we're taking food this way and livestock this way, we will maximize our profits. Let's get building, shall we? No, we want the freight station. We want the terminal station. We don't want to pay for overhead wires because it seems like a poor use of money. Unless, you know, they invent electric traction during this mission, but even then I think we'll be fine with steam. Now, you are within range of the farm, you bloody ripper. Good. We may as well build all our stations first. Let's drop a 2-tracker down here. Whoops-a-daisy. Plop that in, say about there. Now, up here, we could have a branch line in here, but trying to avoid these fields and build a station in there is going to be a bit messy. So I might just drop a station out here and connect that fella up with some trucks. Bop him in there. Probably only need a couple of trucks to supply the livestock up to the station. Now down here, I'd ideally like to capture the commercial and industrial area because I've noticed we've got a fuel and construction materials production. So I'm thinking if we put a station in over here, that's future-proof. Let's go with two platforms. We're capturing a good amount of commercial and industrial there. Very good. Yes, okay, so we're connecting bang, 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 bang. May as well chuck the depot in at the end of the line here. Apparently I built that with overhead wires for no reason. Let's just pop in a depot at the end of the line here. Well, there we go. We can run an electric train, not from the depot, but from just outside the depot up to our platform. Yeah, that'll do. I'm sure there's a demand for that kind of electric service. Wow, that was not even $1 million on construction. Oh, we've still got to put the trucks in Chicago as well. So we'll drop you in there. Now, Chicago, we want to catch the commercial and industrial areas. Somewhere around here would do the trick, but pretty sure that the more vivid the colour, the more it's worth, so... Might just knock over this. No, don't want to knock over 2 buildings, just the one. Just one, that's enough. And we'll plop you in, say, there. There we go. So we can now run trucks from here to here. We'll run trucks from the farm up to the station, and we can run our train. Right, okay, so let's start. We'll set a train up starting here. Taking cattle to Chicago transfer. We'll stop you here just in case, but I don't think, because you'll be transporting the food right through to Indianapolis. And we'll stop off on the way back. Yeah, I can't see why we'd need to stop there, but if I set up another line sort of trying to take stuff away, like maybe food, maybe I might road it to Detroit. So over here, that's Detroit, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, so we'll see how we go there. And we'll call this Chicago to Indiana Jones mainline. Yeah, that makes sense. And now we need a train for that route. Let's have a look at our options. We have the Baldwin, which is a bit slow, 60 k's an hour. Now the Mogul's always a good choice. I'm pretty sure we used that one extensively last time. 75 k's an hour, but we also have the Atlantic available, 100 k's an hour. Now our box cars can do 120, so yeah, you know what? Let's just let's gold plate this line. We'll probably only afford one train, and we'll just build up a nice big train. If I build one more, it'll go over 160, I bet.
The money is slipping through our fingers, people. We'll soon be bankrupt. But if we're prepared to grovel on our hands and knees, our financiers will grant us a bridge loan.
Sure, why not? We'll flog off one of those boxcars and set you on Chicago to Indiana Jones. Or Indianapolis, but, you know, I'm pretty sure if I tried to spell that without looking at it, it would end in tears. That's right, game's paused. Off you go. Get rid of that. Here we go. Under our completely useless overhead wires. Our first train of the game. Look at you, you beautiful bastard. Go forth and make us some money. Yeah, I really should get rid of those wires. Now, we need to set up a couple of truck routes, one from Chicago into town and one from this farm up here. May as well build our road vehicle depot down in Chicago. Just pop it on this side street here. And just so we'll connect up this here just to give our trucks a better route into our station. Now, set up a couple of lines here. Whoops, did not want to set up 2 at once. Okay, line number 1 from here into Chicago. And we'll call that Chicago, Chicago, Chicago. You know, can't mistake what that is, can I? And we'll have you full load at Lower Chicago and go to Upper Chicago. And we'll buy... Well, we've got the always dependable 2.7 horsepower horse cart, but I'm going to go with the steam lorries initially. And we'll set you on Chicago, Chicago, Chicago. And we need to set up a new line over here. From the farm. We'll call that... I guess farm deliveries with a random capital E there. You know what? I'm going to let it stand because I own my mistakes. I own them. And we will set up 2 to start with, and we'll see how they go. Good, good. Okay, we're off. We're off and racing. Our first train is making its way across the plains. Let's just zoom in for a nice dramatic view as it departs Indiana Jones. Yeah. We've got a construction plant here and a quarry. So we can send stone up there. Oil well and a refinery to produce fuel. Good. I wonder if we'll get to transport passengers between these towns, because there's some decent sized towns there. Getting a station in might be interesting, but yeah, see how we go. Okay, so he's stopping there to pick up cattle that haven't arrived yet. Good. Well, at least we know that part of the system will work. And our trucks here all patiently waiting for their first deliveries of food. All costing us money. Probably shouldn't have built them this early. Oh, well. We're going to have to build them eventually. Nope, apparently the laws of space-time no longer apply. Laws of space and time, rather. As we've just had two trucks sort of... Oh god, it's... What a mess. I feel really sorry for this bloke. Apparently all my trucks have decided to compact themselves for the more efficient loading and unloading of goods, but that has resulted in a rather awful, yes, amalgamation of twisted metal and smashed flesh. Oh, okay. How's our train going? That's much more pleasing to look at. Here we go. Our train arriving back with its first load of cattle, our first profit of the game. How much are we going to get? 337,000, and that cost us 112. Yeah, we've got a lot of ways to go. Last year it cost us, well, what, about 700 grand to run this train? And so far it's made us 337. Okay, I'm going to call you improvement needed. Not disappointed, but, you know, if you could just pick it up a little bit, that'd be fantastic. Have you just left food behind? I'm sure we can just leave cans of meat out in the sun, and nothing could possibly go wrong there. Schaufhausen.
The pigs are loose. No idea how that happened, but the animals are frolicking around on the roads near the slaughterhouses. What should we do? We could run the animals over. Luckily, no one sees the manner in which canned meat was slaughtered. Our vehicles shouldn't take any damage in doing so, or will they? The pigs seem to think that they can escape their fate, but they don't know us very well. We should improve the fences urgently. A one-time investment that will pay off.
Sorry about that. I was just watching improvement needed, actually trying to make some improvement on the old profit versus cost stakes. And we've got a development. Let's have a look. The pigs are loose, so we can either run them over and package them up. That seems unethical. Or we can build better fences. Let's just... yeah, let's kill the pigs humanely, thank you. Oh, there we go. We got a medal out of that. A stroke of... Of course, it would be more hygienic for all involved if the pigs were slaughtered in a conventional manner. Well, this game gives you money hand over fist anyway, so that should be fine. Now, where's that train gone? I'll check on his profits for you. Well, see, he's improving. He's just not improved enough. Oh well. We'll stick with him.
The meat business isn't going badly at all. But if we're to enter the automobile industry, we're going to need much more money. More lucrative, albeit far riskier, would be the transport of certain liquids that have recently been banned for the good of society. Something which hardly anyone except the police cares about.
Screw the good of society.
Moonshine is being produced in an inconspicuous hut somewhere in the forest, and we can deliver it to the cities. At the end of the month, our client, who would like to remain anonymous, will pay us a bonus for each crate we transport. If we don't want to get our hands dirty, we can decline the offer with thanks and remain in the pig business.
Like I'm going to turn down free money. Okay, let's have a look. Deliver quote-unquote goods from Chicago distillery to the commercial areas of the cities to gain a bit of extra income. You'll receive a bonus payment of, that's a lot of zeros for each unit of quote-unquote goods delivered. Okay, so the goods are being produced over here at the distillery. We have a train station here. Now, this bloke here, he's stopping Yeah, he's stopping both directions. Good. Okay, so if we ship the goods from here up to the station, probably make that road a bit more direct too. He can then rail the goods into Indianapolis, direct rail the goods over here, and then we can truck it into Chicago. As for getting it to Detroit, I might have to build a train down like that, but I'm not sure how profitable that'll be. But we'll make these improvements to start with and see how we go. Now, first things first, we want to make this road a bit more direct without knocking over any fields, so we'll just connect that up again just in case. Yeah, run it around like that. Good. Now, we've already got the truck stop there, so we just need a truck stop down here. I'm sure the authorities won't possibly question why we've built a truck stop in the middle of nowhere, and we're going to run all these trucks down this random country road. Let's see, we need a new line here from Chicago Central to Chicago Branch, and we will call that the goods deliveries. Again with the capital E. This time, I'm going to fix it. Yeah. And we will have you full load there. Now, we'll need some trucks for that. Excellent. Good. That should bring a bit more money in because, yeah, we can put goods in the box cars we've already got. We're hardly running 130 odd cattle out of here, so there'll be plenty of capacity on the train. See, I knew I built those extra wagons for a reason. And we can drop them off here, put them onto trucks to take into Chicago. Now, let's see. Do we want to have a truck route from Indianapolis to Detroit? No, it's a bit far. It's gonna take too long. It's not going to make a profit. And if we try and build a train, we really do not have the funding for a new train, considering that one's worth 7 million, and that's 4 years old. So, yeah, okay, I might have to hold off on Detroit for a while. They're going to have to go booze-free. Here come our fleet of quote-unquote goods trucks. And this one is immediately holding up one of the local residents. Oh, he doesn't seem in too much of a hurry. He's just happy to follow our truck. I like your blue car. It's a nice colour. It's very nice. Oh, you've done a U-turn. Okay, you've got the shits. Clearly you have no idea where you're going. And you're going to head back. No, just going to... Apparently you are now this house. Fair enough. Not gonna argue. Just gonna walk away. Okay, wow, that distillery is doing its best to remain unnoticed. Look at all of the piles and piles of quote-unquote goods. We got 111. Yeah, that's a good way to remain undiscovered, is to just flood the market with moonshine. Here we go. First pickup. That does not look secure. You hit a bump in the road, they're coming off, and we're gonna have a mob after us. God, that's a scary thought. Drive carefully. We've got precious cargo. Surely no one will notice us bringing a trainload of grog into Chicago and Indianapolis. I'm sure that's fine. Where is our train anyway? Oh, there we go. We've got the Mac AC developed as well as the 282 Mikado, but yeah, that looks like a pretty strong freight engine. I can't see us needing that given how flat everything is. The whatever this train is called. Whatever it's called is doing fine. But the Mac AC, that's a new truck, and that's got to be better than this dodgy looking steam lorry thing. So let's just set about upgrading all of our trucks. Let's see, that's 30 k's an hour as opposed to 25. Okay, so a little speed increase. 46 horsepower as opposed to 5.4. So yeah, power to weight ratio is a lot better. And let's just 46 horsepower, 2.7 horsepower. Yeah, let's just upgrade everything with the Mac. So that's the quote-unquote goods line. Let's just upgrade the Chicago deliveries and the farm deliveries. There we go. That's probably a bit of capital, but yeah, I reckon it's money well spent because it will speed up the whole process. Here we go. First booze delivery arriving at the freight terminal. Okay, come on. Everyone's waiting. Come on. Everyone at home's watching, eagerly, waiting for these crates to be unloaded. There they go. And now, yes. Let's just hope we don't get the pigs drunk.
A reliable source has told us that the police has gotten wind of the moonshine business and is going to conduct targeted checks. Luckily, our source can tell us exactly when and where these checks will take place, so we can make sure that they don't catch us.
Okay, so make sure no cargo vehicles loaded with quote-unquote goods remain in the highlighted area when it turns red. Aha! So the police have found out about our new road, and they are going to start conducting checks in 16 days. Gotta hope you can get out of the way. You, turn around and get the hell out of that area. Okay. So we've got 12 days. He's clear. He's clear. We've got to make sure no trucks come into this green area loaded with moonshine. So we'll just send them back. You know, might delay our profit a little bit, but it's better than, well, getting caught. Oh, here we go. So we've got 18 days. No, just accidentally turn around and go that way. Maybe it's time to start using this back street again. Yes!
Lucky escape. The police didn't discover any of our vehicles.
Good, so the police have packed up, and as they're leaving they drive past this suspicious truck full of crates of booze, but they don't say anything because they've finished their checks. That seems plausible, right? Ooh, look at all the cattle waiting here now. 94. Ooh, we might need a second train soon. Okay, so he's leaving some cattle behind, so we are getting close to needing a second train then. Because as good as the goods deliveries to Chicago will be, we don't want to forget our primary purpose here, and that's to transport cattle from the farm to the food processing plant. But he should turn a tidy profit and go a long ways towards getting us a new train. Excellent. Oh, they're doing it again. Sorry, I was busy double tracking the main line between Chicago and Indiana Jones. Now we got 20 days till this one. Yes, and we just got word of another police check. So I'll talk about the double track in a second. You should get clear. Turn you around. Make sure you're not in the highlighted area.
Lucky escape. A reliable source has told us.
Oh, geez, we just passed that one.
Moonshine business and is going to conduct targeted checks. Luckily, our source can tell us exactly when and where these checks will take place, so we can make sure that they don't catch us.
Okay, well, this is going to be an interesting one. So we've got to make sure our trucks stay away from the truck depot when the police check is on. And we'll have to make sure that the train, which has disappeared, is not carrying any moonshine when the police check is on. Oh, this is going to be a tricky one. Okay, so I'll have to watch out for the train coming in. So far he's not carrying anything. And we've got no trucks in the area carrying moonshine. We might just get away with this. I might just have to stop the train briefly though. We'll see how we go. 3 days till the police check. 2, 1. Okay, you're carrying cattle, you're fine. Yep, nothing to see here, coppers. Just delivering some piggies. Oink oink. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not having a dig at you. I'm just pointing out that we're delivering pigs, and there's nothing on the station that you'd want to look at. Purely just a bunch of pigs, couple of crates. Nothing worth looking at all. We're not doing anything suspicious.
Lucky escape. The police didn't discover any of our vehicles.
Nicely done. Didn't have to stop the train either. And as you can see, improvement is definitely no longer needed. 2.11 million last year. Right, anyway, back to talking about the double track. So I was putting some signals in before we were so rudely interrupted. But yeah, so I have double tracked the main line between Chicago and Indiana Jones, or Indianapolis as it probably prefers to be called. Make your one-way signal. So that way, when the funds permit, which they kind of do now, we can get a second train going and further increase our profits. However, I will wait because, well, first thing we have to do is, I'm not counting all those numbers, but I think we have to get 10 million to complete this next stage of the mission. So we'll hold off till that happens, and then we'll get a second train going. Oh, here we go.
Our sweat and blood and tears have generated the capital we need to invest in the automobile industry. Our friend William Durant is inviting us to be part of his company, General Motors. This is an offer we cannot refuse. Let's invest now.
Well, as you just saw, we grabbed another medal there. Furtive. See to it you don't get caught by the police, because we didn't. You want us to invest 5 and a lot of zeros now. Yeah, okay.
Our money has been invested. Now we just need to make sure that this investment pays off. That means people actually need to buy General Motors cars. The best advertisement for an automobile manufacturer is the glorious victory of its vehicle in a motor race. We should build a racetrack.
Totally.
Anyone who's ever witnessed such a spectacle will need their own cars.
That's flawless logic. Why not? I certainly looked at a race before I went out to choose my car. You know, didn't test drive various cars to see which one suited me. No, I watched a race and I thought, you know what? That winning race car, it's a car for me. No questions. Now, we need to deliver construction material to the construction site. Clicking on that does bugger all. Oh, here we go. Ah, that's what this thing is. Indianapolis racetrack. Okay, it wants construction materials, which we have established we can get from here if we bring stone down from here. So, all straight road, may as well just truck it in there, truck it down to the racetrack, I guess. We could build a train. I don't know how profitable that'd be. Because we're bringing stone down here, we'll need different wagons to bring the bricks over to the racetrack. So, yeah, the logic we can use with the box cars, where it's pretty much always running with cargo on it, won't really work there. We'll start with trucks. We can always upgrade to a train later. So first we'll need to set up a line. We'll call this Indianapolis East, and we'll come down here, and we will name that one Rock and Roll Lorries Limited. Yeah, that'll do. Now, did we make sure we did not? If you full load there, that'd be great. And let's have a look. We'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to start. Can always add more later. Now we need another one from Indianapolis North over to the racetrack, and we'll call it Racetrack Deliveries. And once again, full load at Indianapolis North, please. And look, we'll just start with 2 for now, until we start the bricks rolling. Bricks rolling? Bricks don't tend to roll. Till the brick deliveries start rolling, we'll start with 2 trucks. That way we're not overloading things. And you guys will go off and fetch us some stone. I will meanwhile return to fast forward mode to save up for that second train, because yeah, we're really starting to get some serious amounts of cargo moving. Right, so I've built our second train here. Now I did go with the Atlantic again over the newer Mikado, because top speed 100 versus top speed 80. I mean, the Mikado obviously a better freight engine, but it's all dead flat here and we're not having any problems keeping speed up. So off you go on the main line, please. And wouldn't you know it, our brand new train's managed to jam up the works by getting in the way of the existing train. Well played, sir. Let's get the cross shot without getting caught in the trees. There we go, look at that. Oh no, we're missing it. Get out of the way, wagons. There we go, there's our original train. Starting to look a bit grubby. I think it needs a bath. Good, we're starting to get our first few bricks appearing at Indianapolis North. Already up to 32, and if these guys can hold 8 each, it's time to buy another couple of trucks. And we've got to get to 100, okay. Yeah, so we couldn't have built that second train fast enough. We've got 152 cattle waiting at one of our farms, and the train's not even in sight yet, so even when he does arrive he can only carry 132, so he's going to be leaving some behind. So it's yeah, it's good we got on top of that second train. Where is that train? There it is. Hello. Sure thing. Ah, that's right. Yes, I named the second train Sure Thing because, well, straight off the bat, no improvement will be some improvement will be needed off the initial outlay, but once he gets running again, he will surely make us a decent profit. And there's our other train here. So he's left some cattle behind back there. So this bloke's picking up the slack here. Improvement is definitely no longer needed. Solid profits. 2 million a year. That's how we do it. Now, just looking at our stone production over here, we are producing and keep high production upgrade in 6 months. So if we can keep producing stone up there, down here to turn into bricks, we will get a production increase. So I might set about building a railway line to expedite that delivery, seeing as we're not doing anything else. Okay, there we go. So I've built a depot down here at the construction materials plant. We've got a nice 3-track station here, just in case I do want to start railing construction materials from here into the cities. Obviously Detroit in that direction. And we've got the line coming out over nice flat ground up here. So once capital increases, we might look at investing in a train for this line. I keep having to add more trucks to Chicago as well, because I mean, food and moonshine deliveries have just exploded. And yeah, they're doing all right getting through the city, but traffic and pedestrian congestion is slowing them down, I think. But yeah, so they're delivering nicely to Chicago, which has expanded to fill in this area, which is good. So increased demand for our services. That's my kind of town. Right, so I managed to send us bankrupt, but I have built a nifty little train. I just used the mogul for this one because, well, A, we didn't have the money, and B, we're not producing enough stone just yet, but we can always upgrade him later. But we've built a stone train now to take up some of the slack off the trucks. So once the stone starts moving to the train station and not the road depot, I will divert these trucks onto the brick route. Waste not, want not. And our train looks like he's going to come around at the level crossing just in time to delay one of our brick trucks. Or is he going to run the crossing? No, sensible, sensible. You would have been fired. The boss is watching. Managed to get on the shady side of the train. That's fantastic for the view. There it goes. And we've auto-saved right in the middle of it. Well done, autosave. You're the MVP. Good work. You keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, look at that. Don't look at the bank balance, just look at the train. Be distracted by the shiny train. Now, one thing I might do is connect the construction materials plant up to Indianapolis proper, so that when the racetrack is finished, we can start railing the construction materials between the construction material plant and Indianapolis, and maybe even Detroit. Might even be able to get a mixed goods going between Detroit and Indianapolis to pick up some of the food and goods from there and open up a new market. Yes, I like the way I think. There we go, so we've got a nice little junction here just outside the racetrack, and we've now connected the line up between the construction plant and Indianapolis, with a handy little cross track here to allow trains to go back and forth. Haven't bothered connecting the depot up at this end because I've connected up this depot here. So yeah, once we start getting a bit more profit, we can actually connect the line up to Detroit and try and set up a bit of a mixed goods service going there. Hell, let's do it now. There we go. That seems to get the maximum coverage over Detroit whilst getting both the commercial and industrial areas without demolishing too many buildings. Well, our stone train seems to be wanting to run empty, so it might be time to divert the trucks from rock and roll lorries. We'll just send them all to the depot. And we will shut down that line. And that should transfer that. Yep, there we go. The stone is now waiting for the train. So all these lorries will go to the depot. And once they arrive in the depot, we can divert them onto the brick route over to the racetrack. You know, until we go on to replace them with a train. Looks like we're nearly done. Oh, there we go. Well, these guys are good. Just got to connect up this little corner here. 10 construction material to go, and we can start delivering it to the townspeople. So we've already got stations in position in Detroit and Indianapolis. We might have to build a third train for the main line to take it down to Chicago though. But we'll see how we go. While we're waiting, I will set up this new mixed goods line from Indianapolis. We'll have to stop off here, head into Detroit, head back through Indianapolis, and yeah, back into town there. And we'll call that the mixed goods, because that way we don't forget what it's called. Oh, 98 out of 100. We're getting there. Why couldn't you deliver 2 more? Just overload the truck. Everyone else does. Oh, 99. I don't know where that extra one came from, but I'm not complaining. Oh, here we go.
The track is complete. Just a few more preparations and we're ready to go. A racing car such as this guzzles more than a thirsty pig farmer on a Saturday evening. We should make sure plenty of gasoline is available so that the daredevil drivers don't run out of fuel.
Can't fault that logic. So fuel, I imagine we're bringing oil to the refinery, turning it into fuel. You know what? We've already got the railway line in position. We might be able to rejig the junction so that we've got a siding over here as well. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, well you guys can stop delivering bricks. We'll have to fast track that train. Can we borrow more money? We can. Oh good. How much more can we borrow? We can borrow up to 30 million. Well, that solves the funding crisis for our mixed goods train. Oops, did not mean to close that. Let's get an Atlantic on that, because why not? Now we'll put a couple of box cars on there, a couple of state cars, and I'll put a couple of tank cars on, because I got an idea. No, that's too many. We'll knock off a box car. Yeah, we'll put you on the mixed goods, because I've got a bit of an idea going. So what we're going to do is we are going to put a freight siding in. Now, which way does the trains go? Trains go that way. So I'm going to put a bit of a freight siding in here. Now, we're going to have to connect that up like that. That works. Bring that track around like that and join up. Join up. There we go. Good. Now, we will have to connect this. Ooh, that's a bit ugly. That works. That's okay. Connect you up again. So now inbound trains, which will be loaded with fuel, will come through this platform here and back out to continue the route. So it means bodging a couple of signals around a bit to make sure we don't have any prangs, because I'm no expert, but prangs are bad. And we'll bodge a signal in here. Like that. Make that a one-way signal. Good. And now we'll need to add that to the route, of course. So the mixed goods, after stopping at Lower Indianapolis, we'll swing by Indianapolis, transfer there. Now, no point picking up or dropping off fuel if we've got nowhere to pick it up from. So we will need another freight station in over here. Pop that in like that. Now I'll have to be careful that we don't accidentally take fuel into Detroit, because Detroit will demand fuel, but obviously if we want to finish the races by 1925 we can't have that happen. So where's that mixed goods train at? There he is. Okay. So you will also need to, on your way back from Detroit, stop in here. Good. Now, we need to make sure you are not going to unload at Detroit. So how do we do that? Because you might want to take fuel all the way down to Indianapolis just to get it back to Detroit. Yeah, okay. I don't think we can guarantee that. We'll just have to hope that the game tries to send the fuel to the racetrack first. And we'll need oil to be delivered here. May as well just do trucks for this one. Keep it simple, stupid. Pop a truck depot in there. We've already got a depot. And we've even got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spare trucks sitting around. Would help if we set a line up. So we'll go from there up to there. Make sure to full load there with oil, please. Close that down. We'll call it black gold. I realise that's more often referred to coal, but it works for our purposes. So there we go. We've reused the stone trucks. Look, they've even got some stone left in the back. Hope they clean that out before they try and put oil in. Also, will we put the oil in containers, or are we just going to let it slosh around in the back there? These are questions best not asked. Right, so you are now... These trucks don't need to be delivering bricks anymore. So we will close down the racetrack delivery route. Whoop, that was not how I wanted to do it. Send all of you guys to the depot, please. And we will close that line down because we no longer need it. Good. Okay, so the trucks will all go back to the depot and they will be spares. Yes, because we're sort of getting pressed for time here. And our mixed goods is just chuffing along completely empty, pissing away money left, right and centre. But that's okay. He will hopefully come into his own eventually when we start delivering fuel to the racetrack. And he can also deliver any excess fuel to Indianapolis, unless we chuck some fuel wagons on this route, though he won't take any down to Chicago. Given our capacity issues, I'm not too worried about that yet. Oh, here we go. We're finally going to turn a profit. We're taking some construction materials to Indianapolis. And as usual for my company, they look poorly secured. Excellent. Wouldn't have it any other way, would we? Look at that. We've got our first fuel waiting here at Lower Detroit for the mixed goods train to arrive. What are we up to? We're up to 27. What sort of capacity do you have? You can carry 48. Good. Plenty of room. We watch as our second train on the mixed goods line departs from the depot. Now this one I've chucked a couple of box cars on just to help keep the food deliveries trucking along. We got 4 odd stake wagons for the construction materials. And at the back we've got the ever useful tank cars, which we've managed to close the depot doors on once again, for the fuel deliveries. Excellent. And I bet he is going to get in the way of the other mixed goods. No? The other mixed goods is down at the station here. For some reason he's only unloaded half his fuel. I guess that means we're taking the rest into Indianapolis, which is what I didn't want. But nothing much we can do about that, unfortunately. Now, given our pressing demand for fuel deliveries, I don't think we're going to scrape in before 1925 either way. But to keep the mission ticking along, I have altered the composition of the first of the 2 mixed goods trains while he was handy to the depot. So we will see the new composition rolling by now. We've got 2 boxcars for food, 2 stake wagons for construction materials, and the rest in tank cars to try and keep that fuel moving along and not delivered to Indianapolis proper. Hopefully more of it will go to the racetrack, because we've only delivered 21 out of 100 with 2 years before the races need to happen. No shortage of construction materials down here either. Might end up getting a 3rd train on this route. Yeah, so the mixed goods train looks like he's quite successful. We've got 100 fuel up at the fuel siding and about 100 construction materials going either way down there. Yeah, we probably should have built a longer platform and we could have had more wagons on our train, because this bloke is pretty much running at capacity. I mean, the boxcars have taken the food and goods out, so they're useless on the return, but yeah, the stake wagons and the fuel tanks are full. So as soon as we get some more capital, looks like we're putting more trains on that route. There's the other mixed goods train coming in now. He's still carrying a lot of fuel into Indianapolis, which is frustrating. Yes, I don't think we're going to succeed too much getting the races on by 1925, which is unfortunate, but 4 out of 5 medals isn't bad, I don't think. Should probably set about double tracking the rest of that line to Detroit while we're waiting for the money. See, look, we're going to end up in the same situation we ended up in with the Panama Canal mission, because we're sort of crossing over. Yeah, it's not ideal, but it will have to do. Worked last time. Sure, we can make it work again. I'll bring you up like that. Bring you across to the other side. And continue on. Yeah, As I said, not ideal, but it'll have to do. There we go. And now that we've got a bit more capital, we can get yet another mixed goods train going because we need that fuel pumping. So I'll check a couple of box cars, a couple of state cars, and then the balance of tank cars. And onto the mixed goods you go as well. This is a busy little freight junction here, I tell ya. Where are you off to? You will wait for the other train to finish. Thank you. There you go. Look at that magnificent profit coming in. Okay, it's not that magnificent, but the mixed goods train is almost making parity. I guess it doesn't help that when he's running back, he's mostly running empty because he's just got the food. He's also taking construction materials back again for some reason. I'm not going to question it. I'm just going to let it happen. Yes, look, as it's now mid-1924, I think we can kiss that medal goodbye. Speed record. We still need to have 25 million in our pockets. And when we're eventually, I'm assuming, transporting passengers to the racetrack, we will need to make sure at least 25 people are waiting. So we'll have to run a really rubbish service. Make people wait. Given how bad traffic is in town, that probably won't be too hard.
The big
Hey!
All that's missing now is a mesmerized audience to watch it, and then to go away amazed and buy their own cars. Now we just have to ensure that the future customer of General Motors can make the journey to Indianapolis, even though they don't yet have cars of their own.
That makes sense. So all the people driving around town in cars, in fact, all the people in cars driving out to the racetrack don't actually have cars yet. So first thing we'll do is connect up Indianapolis to the racetrack, and then I reckon I'll put a passenger station in out to Chicago and probably one coming in from Detroit as well. So hopefully we can get those within the catchment area. Oh, we got a fancy modern station. Oh, never built one of these before. So this one's a bit of a no-brainer. We can plop that down there. Now we'll also need a station. No, we can't get in the catchment there coming from Detroit. What if we were to build... No, we want the non-terminal station. We could sort of build it over here. Then it'll... Yeah, it won't be able to cross over like that. Okay, that's going to be this is going to be a difficult proposition. We might just have to bring them in by bus, I guess, although it is a long distance for a road vehicle. You know what? What if we built a terminal station over here? Yeah, we'll pop it down sort of like this, and then we just have a little bus route bringing them into the terminal itself. In fact, better than buses, what if we use trams? We'll put an electric tram depot in here, or even we can even just put stops on the road here, because they're well within the catchment area, and we'll have that as a bit of an interchange. We'll have a bit of a terminus over here. We'll pop that in. I'll pop it in. We'll be nice. We won't make him cross the road. Pop it in like that. Now we'll need to upgrade this road for some tram tracks. We got country road, electric tram track, please. Upgrade. Oh, there we go. Look at that. That's fancy. Now, we will need 2 tram routes. First one, we'll start here. We'll stop outside the racetrack. And we'll continue in a clockwise fashion around town. Now, we'll need some trams for that route. So what are our options? We've got the San Diego electric trolley, which is tiny, carries 7 people. Or the Peter Witt streetcar, which despite being almost 3 times as long, only carries an extra, 4 people. Well done. Well, let's get, let's say 10 of those. It's going to be a pretty busy route, I reckon. We'll pop that on there. And the advantage is people coming in from Detroit can get the tram down, can get on the train to Chicago, or they can head into Indianapolis. But yes, we'll set up the second tram route as well. That can be poo brown colour. Good. Okay, so we've got our streetcars chugging along here. Oh, aren't they things of beauty? Driving along the country road. They're going to get stuck in the traffic, inevitably. Yeah, you will wait for us, jerks. Oh, okay, we'll apparently just give way. Yep, That's it. Ram them out of the way if you have to. Ding ding, mofos. I'm a tram. Now, where are you going? You're just gonna wander across the road. Why not? That seems safe. At least we had the foresight to put a ticket machine here. Oh, look at them all. They're even queuing up across the railway line. Oh, that doesn't seem very smart. Oh well. What are you going to do? Okay, let's now connect up Chicago. Ooh, we've got high-speed tracks available now. Now, Chicago will need a passenger station as well. Let's just pop it at the end of this road here, just to make life easy connecting it up to the rail network. And we'll put a signal in here. Oh, we can put colour light signals in now. Fancy! Ooh, no mistaking that. That means go. Red means go, right? Oh, well, that was easy. I'll probably just build a station on the edge of Detroit over here. Yeah, that should be fine. And we'll just sort of squeeze that in there. That shouldn't be too hard to connect up. Surely, even me. Detroit to Indy Express. And we'll put Express in inverted commas because I'm pretty sure all the freight trains are going to get in the way. Now, I think the last medal we need to get is 25 million in their own pockets, so hopefully we can get another 10 million before we complete this mission here. So we'll drop in a bus depot there. Whoop! Hey, we won!
The automobile so popular that General Motors sales have increased fourfold, and thanks to our foresighted investments, it's worth a fortune to us.
It might be worth a fortune, but it's not worth 25 million, is it? Well, we didn't get the speed record medal and we didn't get the rich in success medal, but otherwise I think that was another successful mission. Once again, I'd like to thank you for joining me, and next week we will press on to the next mission in the American series. Find out what that is next time. Until then, I've been TNick. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye!